Toyota FT1 Concept car in VR. Hello there everybody and welcome to OPAFET Gaming. I am the OPAFET. Today we're driving a Toyota FT1 Concept car in a World Touring Car 600 race. We're driving it at the Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. We're doing 5 laps and we started 16th of 16 cars with a rolling start. Now these laps are decent length, they're going to take a little bit of time to do, but we've got 15 cars we got to pass if we want to win. It means we got to pass an average of 3 cars per lap, and you would think that that would bring us to the front, unless of course the cars at the front are really fast and are taking off on us. Because it all depends on the space between them, right? But we're just going to rip along here. We're going to try and pass as many as we can in the first lap. But try to do it in, now see they slow down a lot in front of you sometimes in the corners. You try and do your best not to rear end them, but sometimes it just cannot be avoided. But we try to drive a clean race as much as we can. Now the cars are spread out a little bit across the track, and I'm pretty familiar with this track. I've driven it a few times now. So there are a couple of really good straight sections like the one that we're on right now for passing, but of course if there's not a car close by, it's pretty difficult to pass. And once you get through this little S curve, then you go down the hill, and that's pretty well the first lap. So yeah, maybe the laps are not that long after all, because we're going pretty fast. I mean, the laps, if the faster you go, the shorter they seem, apparently, but that's okay. We're into our second lap and we're going to get by this white, it looked like it was a Porsche, I wasn't really paying attention to it. And as we're rounding the corner, we're going to try and scream up to the next guys. Now this is he came back, and it was a Porsche. He came back to pass us. See, now every once in a while that happens because the OPAFET, who likes to remind everybody, well mostly himself, really other than anybody else, keep an eye on that rear view mirror, because now we made an advancement and now he came back to pass us, but he's going so fast that we're catching up to the rest of the cars, so it's really not a problem. And then we take him over here. So now we're getting closer, a little bit closer to the middle of the pack, and these guys here, they go pretty good, but we got a little straight section here coming again. Like I said, this is my favorite straight here. Of most of the tracks, I love this straight because it kind of curves a little bit and you can pass them on either side depending upon which way the cars go. So as we're catching up to these guys, you want to try and hug the outside so you can cut back to the inside, and sometimes you can catch a few guys napping like that just before you get to the S-curve. So now we got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars close by in front of us. Now, like normal, the OPAFET forgets to count how many cars he's passed. We just race. We try to keep track. Whoa, there again. Just unavoidable. It's not something I like to do. I don't particularly like it because it takes away from the fun for me. But we're going to keep going and we'll get over it as we race on. We're into our third lap now, and we're catching up to this blue guy. Now, I don't know how many cars are left in front of us, but we got one that we can see, and he's going pretty good. So we're going to try, we can see one up at the top of the hill there too. So we got at least 2 more cars in front of us. I love the little added touch in the concept car, on the steering wheel at the top. You can see what gear you're in, which I would imagine sometimes through the racing and everything that's happening, maybe you might forget, but I can't see the driver. Professional drivers forgetting that, but the OPAFET does, that's for sure. So it's kind of cool that it's there. Plus there's a picture of the track on your dash. Now I don't know what that's for. And the little hologram of your speed in the windshield is a little irritating at the beginning until you get used to it. You just kind of ignore it, and then whenever you need to know how fast you're going, you just kind of take a quick glance. And it's right in your field of view, so it is easier to look at and see. Anyhow, as we're coming up around the corner here, we are quickly finishing our third lap. And we've got one car in front of us that we can see. When we get around the corner, we'll be able to maybe see if there's another one. That looks like there was another one there, but I couldn't tell for sure. So we'll just keep going into our fourth, go as hard as we can to see if there was one there or not. And I can't see us being in the lead yet, but maybe we are. We'll never be able to know until we get to the end of the race, or unless we catch up to another car. So this part of the track here is really tough, especially when you come down and you can't see where the edges of the track is. Yeah, see, there is still another car on the track there in front of us. Once you get racing on this track, a few times you start to know where the curves and the turns are, and it ends up being a really nice track to race on. So we got to come around the corner here and catch up to this guy in front of us, because it looks like by the time we catch up to him, this lap will be done, because he's still quite a ways in front of us there. And then we'll be into our last lap. So we're going to have to get moving here, because we don't know. There again, we keep saying that. You got to assume that the car in front of you is the number one car. We don't know if there's any more in front of him. So I don't think there is. I think this blue car is the lead car. So once we get ahead of him, looks like a little Subaru rally car. Awesome little car to drive too. I've driven that one on the ice track, and that's a lot of fun to drive. But today we're in the FT1 Toyota concept car, and we're starting our last lap here. Now there's a few places to pass him, so we don't have to get too excited. Like you know, there's that long straight stretch where if we're right behind him, he doesn't have a chance in getting away from us. So I'm not going to get too excited about trying to pass him through here, because it's too difficult anyhow. But you know he's going to slow down through here. So you know that if you really wanted to, you could have got by him, but you might have run into him or run off the track a little bit. And there's another thing, like rear-ending. It's just something I don't like to do. So as we're coming up here, we were gonna get him here in this little straight, but he's pretty zippy. Well, we managed to get by him, but we better keep an eye on him, because he's pretty quick and we're not too far in front of him. And like I'm always been so fond of saying, if you can see a car in your rearview mirror, he's too close, because he's within striking distance of being able to pass you. This is an absolute awesome car to drive. You still have to be careful around corners and throttle down and respect the corners for what they are, because you don't want to spin out. But it's an awesome car to drive, looks great on the inside, and we are quickly finishing our lap here. Boy, I tell you, I enjoyed this one again too, just like the other ones. I hope you did too. And until the next time, you've been racing around in a concept car from Toyota with me, the Opafet.